Hello everyone, this is a demo video for Airtrain AI's new evaluation tool. Evaluating large language models for specific tasks is notoriously difficult, so we built a free tool to make it easy to compare models on arbitrary criteria across your entire eval datasets. Here's how it works. I'm going to compare how 3 different models perform at extracting highlights from news articles. Here I have a JSON file of 2000 CNN articles, and I'm going to upload it to Airtrain. Then I'm going to configure the models I want to compare. First, FLANT-T5, selecting the XL variant, setting the temperature to 0.1, and setting the prompt. The prompt instructs the model to extract exactly 3 highlights from each article and to make each highlight at most 2 sentences long. Then I configure Llama 2. I select the 7 billion parameter variant and Falcon, also with a 7 billion parameter variant, in a similar way. And finally, I configure my evaluation methods. Airtrain offers LLM-assisted evaluation. Our scoring model can rate outputs from 1 to 5 along arbitrary properties that you design using natural language. For example, I want to evaluate how grounded the highlights are in the original article to make sure the models are not hallucinating. I'm going to define a groundedness property. I describe the property, pass the original article, and lay out a rubric to help the scoring model rate the outputs. Then I want to make sure exactly 3 highlights were generated, so I will define a formatting property with a prompt and a rubric to make sure that there are exactly 3 highlights. And finally, I want to evaluate whether the models respected the instruction to output at most 2 sentences per highlight. Here's a prompt and a rubric to test for that. I'm also going to activate some unsupervised metrics to get a general sense of how these models perform on summarization. I'm going to name my job CNN Highlight Demo, and I will launch the job. The job proceeds, and after a few minutes, I can dive into my evaluation results. At the top here, I can visualize metrics distribution across my entire eval dataset. For example, I can see that Llama 2 seems to be the most grounded model and the one that respects formatting instructions the best. I can scroll sideways to visualize all metrics distributions. In the bottom left panel, I can scroll through my evaluation dataset and select individual examples to inspect each model's metrics and inferences in more details and see where the example sits in the broader distribution. I can also use Airtrain to evaluate JSON schema compliance. I configured this job to get Llama 2 and Falcon to extract 3 highlights from each article in that same CNN dataset and return them as an array with 3 elements in a JSON payload. I activate JSON schema validation and describe my schema using the JSON schema convention. Then I launch the job. I can now see that Llama 2 is better than Falcon at formatting JSON payloads. If you want to evaluate a model that is not listed here, you can make sure to include inferences from your model in the input dataset, then select Custom Model and specify the field containing inferences. You can then define your eval criteria and start the job. To summarize, we released a free LLM evaluation tool that uses our scoring model to evaluate models on arbitrary properties across an entire eval dataset. This eval tool is free to use, so sign up now and join our Slack channel to let us know what you think. Thank you.